Now, against the backdrop of challenges the legal profession had suffered in recent past, a team of distinguished legal luminaries called JASAN Foundation is spearheading a legacy dialogue that would breed a new generation of lawyers that drive a paradigm shift the entire judiciary value chain in Nigeria. Well, at a press briefing in Abuja, the convener of JASAN Foundation, Mr. Johnny Agims, explains that it's fostering excellence in the legal profession through mentorship, sponsoring legal reforms and advocacy with the aim of creating a network of young lawyers who will drive change in the legal profession and the judiciary.
Creates a network of young lawyers who will drive positive change in the legal profession and the judiciary. The legacy dialogue is a critical step towards achieving this goal. By bringing together legal professionals, academics, and stakeholders, we aim to explore innovative approaches to mentorship and sponsorship in the legal profession. We believe that strategic sponsorship and mentorship are essential tools for professional identity formation in the legal profession, whether you are at the bar or at the bench. Over the next few days, precisely on the 13th of September 2024, at the Shehu Yaradua Conference Center by 5 p.m., we will be engaging in a series of activities, including a panel of discussion, the launch of the JASAN Foundation 1 billion naira endowment fund for sponsorship and scholarship, as well as the unveiling of our transgenerational logo. We will also be awarding full tuition scholarship to several law students preparing to go to the law school next year, who were selected through our call for applications and rigorous screening process. These students will eventually be inducted into the Legacy 500 Elite Mentorship Program after their call to bar.
And at any other time in our history, we need to be our brother's keepers. People are suffering a lot today, even in the legal profession. Practitioners are very young. They come into the profession very, very young indeed. And they need guidance. They need support. They come from the rural areas into the city. They need guidance. They need support. And this initiative is as it ought to be. We need more initiatives like this.
Senior Advocate of Nigeria and the convener of JASAN Foundation, Johnny Agims, joins me now on Newsnight to discuss this. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Well, it looks like there is a necessity to come up with a paradigm shift in the legal profession. Why has this become, timely to look at these issues now?
Okay. It's often said that most times we complain and we do nothing. Right. As a legal practitioner and a legal reform advocate, I believe it's time we'll come up with something like this to help change the narrative. JASAN Foundation is a child of necessity. We thought it wise to come up with this foundation to sponsor young lawyers, particularly from 1 year to 10 years post-call, because we believe at that formative stage, they need mentorship and they need guidance.
Why is it important for them to have mentorship, and what form of mentorship really and guidance?
Okay. Because we don't have enough time, I'll quickly just run through some of the things we've started and we'll try to run along with. For the final year law students, there's already a call for application we sent out, and some selected few who scale through the requirement for that will be sponsored into the law school next year, particularly the indigent ones. You agree with me that, of course, the fees are so astronomical that some of them can't even afford those fees, as brilliant as they are. And so that is already on one hand. And then when they are called to bar, we want to set, the plan is to have just 500 selected few that will be mentored by legal practitioners and judges who themselves have been able to make their mark in the legal profession.
All across the country?
Across the country. It's a national thing, so it's not just for a selected few. And so those are some of the things we want to do. And you ask a question, why do we have to do that? You agree with me that one who is not properly mentored would definitely not give you the required results. So we feel this is something that is novel, because we've not had something like this before now. The best you get is, if you're lucky as a lawyer and you're called to bar, you're lucky to work under a principal who himself is good, then you learn some of these ethics. But now you now have a platform, an academy of some sorts, where you have retired justices of the Supreme Court, you have senior advocates of Nigeria, like you saw there, Chief Kanu Agabi, SAN is former Attorney General of Nigeria. That's someone who has practiced law for 52 years, coming to endorse this kind of an initiative. That's to tell you that there's need for such an initiative.
No doubt. And one of the issues raised at your event, poor pay for young wigs. Exactly how you are addressing that?
Okay, well, of course, you know, if you don't pay what is worth someone who can give you quality service, definitely you will not get it. But for me, I don't think actually payment is actually the issue.
Right.
Because most times the school churn out those who themselves are unemployable. So that becomes the challenge, because why pay you when I will have to now be the one to teach you through this? And that is why the legacy dialogue that we're coming up with, that we're starting with on the 13th of September, we're bringing the DG of Law School is one of the speakers. Professor Ernest Ojukwu is one person who has been in the forefront of reform of the legal profession over the years. He himself was the deputy director of the law school for several years. Now he's into private practice. And we have other lawyers who will be there to speak, particularly other key stakeholders who will be speaking to these issues, to see how we can come up with at least something that will be reasonable, and then as those in the legal profession can begin to see how we will move forward from there.
You also talk about the need to reform the legal profession and the judiciary. In what specific areas? I mean, in terms of the key priority areas? Okay,
now, basically our foundation is anchored on 3 pillars: mentorship, sponsorship, and legal service reform and advocacy. Now, for the sponsorship aspects, like I said earlier on, we want to sponsor indigent, qualified young lawyers. That way, we take away the burden for these ones who normally will have the requirement, they have the tools, but they don't have the resources. And so that is the aspect of sponsorship. Then for the mentorship, the short-term plan is for 10 years. Because, you know, to qualify to be a judge, you have to be called 10 years post-call to qualify to become a judge. And if you want to apply to become a senior advocate of Nigeria, you need to be 10 years post-call. So you now imagine these persons who come in as they are called to bar and they are admitted into this cohort. What that now means is for 10 years, you have these mentors who give you a guide from the get-go.
Right.
So that's the advantage you have over those who will just be out there thinking of how to find their way through.
Okay, so well, this, I mean, is definitely a great initiative. But very quickly, the issue of mentorship, I'm a bit curious. What exactly, you know, do you consider in choosing a mentor? What should these mentors have that they can pass on to the mentees?
Okay, like I said earlier on, you see, Chief Kanu Agabi is a man of no mean feat.
Right.
52 years in the legal profession is something that's, and of course, he's made his mark. And it's not just him. And the faculty, we have a committee of judges and we have a committee of senior advocates. So you have several of them who will be working in that faculty to mentor these ones. And you don't have to, geography will not be a challenge. Wherever you are in the world, as long as you're a member of the academy, you will get this mentorship as we go along. Okay.
We wish you all the very best. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Johnny Agim, convener, JASAN Foundation. Thank you for joining us.
I think it's president.
Oh,
the president and founder.
Okay, president.
Yes, the president and founder.
Great,
not
super.
The convener.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.